This is it, episode 7 of Soul Knowledge, and it marks the final episode of our first season. And as I've promised you, we're going to be using this time to discuss midsoles, which a lot of folk find to be the most challenging section of a pair of shoes to understand. And by the end of this episode, you would be able to identify which midsole you have in your sneakers. And actually at Soul Knowledge, we're going to be certifying you based on your knowledge. I mean, we'll send you a certificate if you can understand it correctly. Also, at the end of this episode, I'm also going to be giving you guys insights into the feedback you've shared with us based on the sneakers you want us to discuss, the insights that you've been looking for. So, guys, it's been a pleasure. It's been a great run. Let's finish this one off in style as we discuss midsoles. I know you guys are going to nail this one. So, much to look forward to. Let's get into it. Guys, once again, thank you so much. Your feedback over the past 6 episodes have been helpful in just creating the way forward for Soul Knowledge. We've listened to what you've spoken about, we've listened to what you've asked for, and we will continue to evolve Soul Knowledge based on what you guys are looking for as a community. This is a community-based show. You've seen the support from brands, from individuals, and guys, just keep being evangelists in your own right. Keep sharing the message, keep liking, keep following. And thank you as we keep making Soul Knowledge an even better viewing experience and an educational bit for you guys as we move forward. Before I start off the details of the midsoles, it's important that you guys understand that none of these technologies are redundant. All of them are still being used in footwear production today. It's just their application that have changed. Some of them are not as prevalent as they used to be in the past because better alternatives have come about. And it's the process of this evolution that I'm going to be discussing with you. So never for one second think, well, why are they still producing it? Why is it still on shoes? There's just still an application where this makes sense. Capiche? When you think of the best properties for a midsole, you need to think of only 3 things: lightweight, cushioning, and the ability to hold its shape as time goes by. Now, depending on the sporting code, these may differ in terms of its priority, considering hiking versus basketball versus running, but those 3 things, lightweight, cushioning, and the ability to hold its shape as time goes by, is generally what you need to anchor your thinking around midsoles. Now, in order for you to be certified for season 1 of Soul Knowledge, you're going to have to tell me the sneakers that you're wearing, and I want you to tell me the midsole that you are using. So how do you tell midsoles apart? When we start off with the story of midsoles, we start off by speaking about a rubber midsole. So a rubber midsole has the ability to hold its shape as time goes by. What I mean by that is that as an athlete moves in it, as he jumps in it, and as he adds a lot of pressure to it, the midsole holds its integrity, it holds its shape, and it doesn't particularly change as time goes by. When it comes to lightweight, rubber does not offer you that. Rubber adds the most weight onto any sneaker as it stands. So rubber does not offer you lightweight. And when it comes to cushioning at this point in time, there are better alternatives. And you will frequently notice that when rubber is used in a shoe, it is often supplemented by additional forms of cushioning. In this case, Nike used air technology to assist in adding more cushioning to a rubber sneaker. However, rubber had to evolve. And the next level of the evolution was over here. This is sheet EVA, and as you would typically find on any flip-flop as well, these sheets have been cookie cut and stuck onto your uppers, and this is what they look like, guys, just nice and easy. For those of you that have owned flip-flops before, you will notice that, I mean, a flip-flop also has sheet EVA in it. But as time goes by, the more you wear it, you'll notice that your foot starts to leave an impression on the midsole itself, because as you walk, it keeps compressing it and compressing it and compressing it and compressing it, and eventually it loses that cushioning. Therefore, it does not have the ability to hold its shape as time goes by. The cushioning component is diminished. That's what you would commonly see here, and eventually as time goes by, the same thing will happen to any sheet EVA midsole. The guys who worked with EVA found that when you put EVA under heat, it kind of reacts in the same way that a marshmallow does when you put it in the fire. It actually expands, and it is that expansion process that is kept in a compression mold to create a lighter material that offers you the same or better cushioning properties. And in this case, this here you would find a compression molded EVA, as you would see on the Safari. Now this still has the ability as time goes by for the cushioning to eventually decay, but it takes a longer period of time. There are two things that you can have a look at. Firstly, when you touch it, it actually feels like a very hard marshmallow. Not that ultra soft marshmallow, but it still has the ability to feel cushy as you hold onto it and you squeeze it. And if you've had a compression molded EVA for a little while, you start to notice little tiny creases because it's beginning to compress already. So these little tiny crease lines that have already appeared into it, but the biggest giveaway sign is that it's cushy. An important call out that I want to make about polyurethane, and this is not a brand comment, this is a polyurethane comment. So irrespective of the brand that you're working with, all of the brands suffer from what I'm about to tell you. Footwear designers have designed this for athletes first, guys, and that's just how it works. But for us who've been keeping our sneakers for so long, just be aware that if your sneaker is made out of polyurethane, as time goes by, I'm talking about years and years and years of having a pair of sneakers, eventually the midsole begins to become brittle, and that's purely because of its exposure to water and oxygen. I mean, trying to prevent that, guys. So just remember, they were designed for a specific life cycle for athletes that are performing in these sneakers, and not particularly for the way we as sneakerheads operate in this space. So you got to keep that in mind. So it's only polyurethane that actually falls apart like that. Sheet EVA does not, and nor does compression molded EVA either. It is just a polyurethane problem. So guys, I want to implore you, wear your sneakers. Unless you have a shoeseum or something like that, you've got to wear it, because the clock is ticking on these guys over here. That's just how it goes. Now when you compare this to rubber, on the other hand, rubber does not give way. It remains firm, hard. It's not going to bend into your wall. However, polyurethane does still have the ability to give in a little bit more. Some of you may think, but hold on Bernie, what is this? This over here is actually called an autoclave. This is not a midsole. In these Converse All-Stars, you've got an outsole and you've got a sock liner in the middle over here, but it doesn't actually have a midsole. It's just a rubber base with a fair amount of cushioning within the actual sock liner itself. And this is a layer of rubber that has actually been bound onto the side of the sneaker by the force of glue and a lot of heat. This does not particularly have a midsole. This is called an autoclave, and it just shows you how far back in the day these have come. Not even midsoles, but performance wise keeps you closer to the ground. Now that I've got this in my hand, this is one of the sneakers you guys have asked me to discuss in the future. A couple of other names that have come through was the Air Jordan 1, Adidas Parlay, Reebok DMX, Air Max 1, and a whole lot of others. So guys, if there are other names that you want to add into that, we will tackle it in season 2 and season 3 moving forward. It's been such a pleasure dealing with you guys in discussing midsoles. The first 10 of you who can share this post, share a picture of your sneaker, and identify the midsole, you will have your certificates posted straight through to you. I'll ask for your addresses and I'll sign those for you myself. And for the first lot of you that can provide me the same details from the day of this video going to release, for exactly a week thereafter, the first week, all of you will receive your certificates via email. You will share with me your email addresses afterwards when I confirm that with you. This is the end of season 1. It's been a good time. You've understood sneakers so well. Guys, one sneaker in 1 second. Let's finish this thing off well. A lot of love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching. It's been another good one.